to a very special Halloween edition of Rad Steele's Awesome Toy Review. I am Eric Draven, and today we're going to conclude the series on how to make a Whitty costume from Friday Night Funkin. Now that was a way of being introduced. I couldn't have done that better if I did the introduction myself. But folks, welcome back to my third and final episode on my trilogy on how to make a Whitty Halloween costume from Friday Night Funkin. Since the last time I saw you guys, I've acquired my final pieces of what I needed to complete the costume. And I'm just going to inventory that real quickly. First, I'll start with the purple gloves. And the purple gloves are pretty hard for me to find, or the black gloves, I'm sorry, not purple. The black gloves are very hard to find out here in California because California generally stays warm all year long. So I went to Target and I found a Kate and Jack pair of gloves, and I found a purple one. I took the risk when I bought these because I figured maybe the purple part's removable, which it was, so now I have my black pair of gloves. And also, I did have an engineering change on the wick. I was going to originally do a straw, I was going to melt it and bend it in position, but I figured I'll just go with an actual rope. So I went to Joann Fabrics and I picked up this braided rope. And what I'm going to end up doing is, I'm going to take this wire here and I'm going to fish it through the rope, and I bent the little hook on the end. And what I'm going to plan on doing with the hook is, I'm going to wrap a wire around this ball here, the flame for the wick, and I'm probably going to hook it on there. And what I plan on doing is, after I hook the ball onto the wire, like that, I'm just going to fish it through. And hopefully, it'll stay nice and secure. So I'm going to put that to the side right now, and I'm going to get to the sneakers. I went to Hobby Lobby and I bought a pair of do-it-yourself sneakers. And I had two options when it came to dyeing these sneakers. Either I could buy the regular dye, boil water, pour it in, and let it soak. But I take the risk of dyeing parts of the shoes I don't want orange. So what I'm probably going to end up doing is, I'm going to probably end up taking this Tulip Slick applicator, which is a dye also, and it goes right onto the fabric. You let it sit for a couple days, then you wash it, and it'll be ready in time for Halloween, and I'm going to end up drying them. But I'm also going to go over the stuff I already have finished. And I promised that I would have the bomb head finished, which I'll have done at the end of this video. But the bomb head, I ended up taking the orange fabric because I did that engineering change like I mentioned in the last video. I wasn't going to utilize that Spider-Man helmet. I went and I glued it in, and it stayed nice secure. Buffy took it to school for a Halloween parade and ended up working out pretty well. I kind of had to rush it last minute because I didn't realize the parade was happening so soon, so I armor glued these foam strips in there. I plan on using Gorilla Glue, so I'm going to pull these out and I'm going to reapply the glue to it to make it more secure. And I'm going to add more padding to it so it stays in place. And I went ahead and I took that sprinkler donut and I went ahead and I glued it on. I painted it. So I have Woody's helmet almost nearly completed. I just have to complete the wick part, which I showed you with the rope and the wire and the little flame I'll have done. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to show you guys snippets on how I did it. I'm not going to make you guys sit through the whole process because that's very boring. And I'm going to do the same with the dye and the shoes. And also, I showed you guys earlier, I already have the orange jogging pants right here. And I also had the blue hoodie. And I'll put that right over here also. So I'm just going to go over a quick inventory and kind of tell you guys how much I already invested in this costume. So for the fishbowl here, that only ran me $15.99. For the spike, that ran me about $1, this spike right here. For the do-it-yourself sneakers, these were $5.99. The dye was $2.99. The twist rope only ran me $2.22. The foam pad used for the inside of the helmet only ran me $3.50. The material for the eyes ran me 17 cents. The gloves were only $5. The sprinkler donut at the top of Woody's helmet only ran me $2.99. The orange sweatpants on Amazon only cost me $12.99. I already had a hoodie on hand, but I looked up and I did some research, and this hoodie actually runs normally $20, but it's on sale right now for $14 $14 on the Hanes website. So the total price for everything that I spent on the Whitty Halloween costume came out to $70.33. Okay, for the next process, I want to go ahead and start dyeing the shoes orange. And what I did was I removed the laces and I put on a pair of rubber gloves because you don't want to get the paint on your hands, of course. So you go and you remove it, and this stuff just goes right onto the fabric. And it has a nice little tip on it so you can apply it, you know, very carefully so you don't get it on the parts you don't want to dye. But I'm going to go ahead, and I'm not going to film the entire process, but I'm going to go ahead and start dyeing the shoes. And I'll show you guys after I'm all done. Okay, now I'm finished applying the dye to the sneakers, and I did get a little bit on the sole here, but I'll wash that off later with some nail polish remover. But the instructions say let them sit for 4 hours, so I'm gonna go ahead and let them sit, and now I'm gonna move on to the next part of my project. Okay, next part I'm gonna go ahead and start is I'm gonna take this wire, and I'm gonna go ahead and fish it through this rope. And I'm not gonna make you guys sit through the entire process, so I'll be back after I'm done fishing this wire through the rope. Okay, good news guys, it actually worked. I got the wire in there, so now I can like bend this any way I want. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the little flame on the top to attach to it, and I'll get back to you guys. Okay, I got it to work. So I went and I fished that wire through. I wrapped another thinner wire around this ball right here. I think that's enough. And if I need to modify it, I just slide it down, and I can go ahead and just wrap another wire around it. But it came out alright. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that through. And I'm going to go ahead and bend it. And I'm going to figure out a way to attach it to the helmet. Okay, now I got the wick attached to Woody's head right up here. So as you can see, Woody's helmet's all done. I have some great news. I have finally finished completing this costume. I went ahead and applied the paint to the shoes. And I went ahead and I tried to get out a lot of the paint that I got on the soles, but I couldn't do it. But I mean, this is a Halloween costume, so it doesn't have to be perfect. But I think it turned out great. Put the laces back in, and it serves its purpose. And also, I finished the Woody mask. I went ahead, got the rope in, you got the wick, and you got the flame. And anytime you tap it, it goes off. And I feel like it turned out really well. I went ahead and added some additional padding for some additional support. Not great, but I mean, no one can see the inside of the helmet. But we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna have Buffy put on this costume so you guys can fully see how this project turned out. Buffy has put on the costume. Let me just pan up and down. You can see Cujo standing behind Buffy. You see the shoes, the orange pants, the black gloves, the blue hoodie, and last but not least, the helmet. Buffy, go ahead and turn around for us. See the wick up there? I did miss the X on the back of the helmet, and maybe before we go out trick-or-treating tonight you can see it. But that is the complete costume.
Subscribe to the channel.